Now at 6, crowds gathered outside Carthage Memorial Hall for the 5th annual 4-State Record Show. Plus, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation is investigating the death of a Southeast Kansas man. And firefighters gathered to put out an early morning fire in Carthage, Missouri.
The 4-State's most watched news starts now.
The Kansas Bureau of Investigation is investigating the death of a Southeast Kansas man. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Cale Chapman. Authorities say that the death points to a homicide. Pittsburgh police say they received a call yesterday afternoon reporting someone was shot. They found 51-year-old David Mays of Weir, Kansas, in the road near 1023 North Main. Authorities say they believe the fatal gunshot was a result of an altercation between potential suspects. Authorities arrested 43-year-old Colin Gebford and requested charges for suspicion of attempted premeditated first-degree murder and felony murder. The report says Gebford made the original call to police and he was arrested without incident. Authorities found another suspect in relation. That is 32-year-old Travis Connis of Neosho, Missouri. Police found him late this afternoon. There is no word yet on charges filed. Authorities have charged 2 Missouri men in connection to the death of a missing woman. Sean Wickstrom of Stockton and Christopher Appleby of El Dorado Springs are charged with first-degree involuntary manslaughter, evidence tampering, and abandonment of a corpse. This comes after Ginger Lynn Shoemaker went missing several weeks ago. Authorities found her body on February 8th in a rural part of Cedar County. Investigations have been found that the body had been buried several weeks ago. There is still no word yet on the cause of death. Firefighters battled an early morning blaze today in Carthage, Missouri. The fire was around 1:30 a.m. this morning at 410 Cedar Street. At first report, there were flames and smoke from the second floor of a wood-framed house. Just minutes later, the second floor became fully engulfed in flames. Authorities blocked area roads to contain the fire. No one was hurt, and all residents made it out. No word yet on how many people were affected. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now for a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Cale. Looking at radar, it looks like there's a lot of rain out there, but a lot of this is not even reaching the ground. Let's zoom in on some of the activity that actually may be producing a few sprinkles over near Paw Paw, on over towards Salt Springs and then Vertigra, and then also to the north and west of Fredonia, extending on over towards Buffalo. Might see a sprinkle or two as this activity continues to move up towards the north and east. Temperatures this afternoon were in the upper 40s and lower 50s across the area, and right now we're looking at temperatures dropping down through the 40s as we go through the evening hours. In fact, here's a look at your forecast if you're heading out. Down into the 40s, all the way down to 37 by tomorrow morning. And looking down the road, we're going to have a warmer Sunday with some mostly sunny skies, a warmer week ahead as well. But there is some rain around midweek, and I'll tell you all about that in our forecast in just a little while.
All right, well, thank you, Sam. The line grew outside of Carthage, Missouri's Memorial Hall for the 5th annual 4-State Record Show. Around 30 music dealers set up tables to sell vinyls, cassette tapes, CDs, and much more. Music lovers get a chance to grow their collections and win door prizes while they shop around.
Vinyl's been growing in popularity for the last 10 to 12 years. The community really pulls together. Just having the physical, tangible thing in your hand and ownership of it. Music sounds better. It supersedes streaming by a long shot.
This event is held twice a year, and the next show is in July 29th at Carthage Memorial Hall. Nevada, Missouri's philanthropic educational organization chapter DW celebrates their 100th anniversary. This educational organization started in 1869 with a bond of friendship among 7 young women. Now grown to almost 6,000 local chapters, the Nevada chapter raised money for scholarships for women of all ages.
Well, we definitely support women. We fundraise to provide scholarships, sometimes financial assistance to those who are needy, but we're mainly focused on the education of women. The PEO chapter nationally owns the Cotty College, which is where we're having our centennial today.
We also spoke to the oldest member of the DW chapter, and she said she is honored to be part of the organization. Boys and Girls Clubs of Southwest Missouri hosted their second Smackdown Mac and Cheese contest. The mac and cheese chefs could enter either the amateur or professional division. Many awards were given out, including the Biggest Noodle, Crowd Favorite, and Golden Noodle Awards. The Smackdown hopes to bring support and awareness to the Boys and Girls Club's programs while being a great time for the local surrounding communities.
I am thrilled to have this event. I'm glad it's been a great success. I'm glad we sold a lot of tickets, and I'm glad our vendors increased this year too, so that's exciting.
The event included a raffle and VIP experience for attendees. The Kansas City Chiefs' recent run to another Super Bowl championship was a big benefit to one local Kansas City area school. That's because of the effort of a small business owner in the community.
It started with wooden coasters and funny phrases.
We make a lot of Kansas City red.
That expanded to clothes, cups, and now yard signs.
Very exciting.
Annie Stowe of Annie's Barn made these signs after the AFC Championship game.
On Wednesday, 100 yard signs showed up, and those vanished like in seconds.
Like any Chiefs gear, it sold fast.
I mean, it was like one day, 24 hours, I was out of yard signs.
So she ordered 400 more.
This is just like above and beyond what we normally do.
Stowe decided to take the profits and pay off student lunch debt at Pawnee Elementary.
I called them and I said, I'm thinking I got $500 and I'm going to pay off these school lunches, right? And they're like, no. It's actually $2,000 is our total.
The total was more than she had raised, so she posted to Facebook asking for donations.
By lunchtime, we had the full amount. We raised all the money for your lunch accounts.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
She's calling it Out of the Red Friday.
Thank you so very much. That's so exciting. I just can't wait to share the good news.
Happy Out of the Red Friday. Right?
Yes.
She's hoping it will be an annual tradition.
Coming up, former President Jimmy Carter is receiving hospice care at home with his family. Plus, family and friends gathered in Michigan today to pay their respects to one Michigan State University student. Former President Jimmy Carter is now receiving hospice care and decided to spend the rest of his time at home surrounded by family. The Carter Center released the following statement earlier today. After a series of short hospital stays, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter today decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention. He has the full support of his family and his medical team. The Carter family asks for privacy during this time and is grateful for the concern shown by his many admirers. Family and friends gathered at St. Paul on the Lake Catholic Church in Grosse Pointe Farms today to pay tribute to Michigan State sophomore Brian Frazier. He's one of the 3 MSU students that was killed in the February 13th mass shooting on Michigan State's campus. A little later, join us in sports as the Pitt State women face off against the Nebraska Kearney Lopers.
And we've had a cloudy Saturday for the most part. Is any rain in the clouds? And what about tomorrow? I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, friends, we started off the day with mostly sunny skies, but the clouds have rolled in with that weak disturbance rolling across us, but it's dry in the lower levels, and as a result, we're not really seeing any of that precipitation reaching the ground. And if we take a look at the time lapse, you can see those clouds rolling in at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort down in Seneca, Missouri. And right now we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, and the clouds are starting to decrease just a little bit. Let's take a look at radar. Well, first, before we get to that, let's look at the high today. 52 was where we topped out. 31 was the low, which was actually pretty close to the normals of 51 and 29 degrees on this day. Radar right now zoomed in on some of the activity that may be reaching the ground in the form of some sprinkles near Twin Grove and Paw Paw, over to Salt Springs, south of Toronto, and also extending over to Vertigus, and then Buffalo over there in Wilson County, just to the west of Chanute. And that's about it. A lot of the stuff is not even reaching the ground, just lots of cloud cover. What is reaching the ground are some strong winds, and we've been dealing with that all day. And by tonight, those stronger winds are going to be migrating over into the metro area. And then by morning, we're going to see the stronger winds move down into Arkansas. But by afternoon, the winds should start to calm down pretty much everywhere with speeds of around 10 miles per hour. Temperatures right now are generally in the 40s across the area. 46 in Oswego, same thing in Welch, 49 over there in Grove for one of the warmer readings. And In fact, we're about 5 degrees warmer tonight than we were last night at this time, so at least we're headed in the right direction as far as temperatures go. Beautiful sunset here in Joplin right now. It's 46 degrees. Wind is out of the south, so it makes it feel like it's 39. Dew point is 21, and the pressure is currently at 30.11 inches of mercury. All right, let's take a look at the forecast for tonight. We're going to see lows generally dropping down into the 30s once again with southerly winds, with the clouds starting to decrease. And then as we go through the day, the clouds are going to come back again with temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Notice there is a front up to the north and west. That's going to slide our direction but fall apart as it gets closer to us, not really changing our temperatures all that much, just a wind shift line with lows on Friday morning in the 30s and 40s. Then as we head through the day on Monday, we're going to see temperatures jumping up into the lower 60s across the area with partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then as we go into Tuesday morning, we're going to see winds around from the north and east with temperatures in the mid 40s as the storm system starts to move towards us late Tuesday into Wednesday. In fact, we're expecting quite a bit of precipitation from this next storm system down to the south and east, where some places could pick up a couple of inches in a few isolated spots. But notice the gradient is very tight between no rain at all and quite a bit of heavy rain. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how that all pans out. Here's a wider view of it. As we go through time, mild air starts to move in, but here comes the storm system from the deserts of the southwest. That ejects out into the plains on Wednesday, and that's when the next chance of rain starts to move in, and then colder air spilling in a little bit behind it. Over the next 7 days, here we go. Nice for the next few days. A little on the cloudy side, but temperatures in the 60s. Rain on Wednesday, and then rain again next weekend.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty tame, pretty mild.
Pretty mild for this time of year, but don't worry, winter is lurking somewhere.
Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled for it.
All right.
All right, thank you, Sam. Still ahead, Missouri Southern baseball hits the field for a top 25 battle today against Illinois Springfield. And the Pitt State women aim to knock off the first place Nebraska Kearney Lopers. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are at home today for a conference doubleheader against Nebraska Kearney. On the women's side, it's one of the biggest games of the season for Pittsburgh State. Kearney is on a 12-game winning streak, currently in first place in MIAA, and they're ranked 10th in the nation. The Gorillas, though, also on a roll right now. They've won 12 of their last 14 coming into this one. The final seconds of the first quarter, Harper Schreiner asked for the screen. Gets it and goes straight downhill for the lay-in. Gorillas lead by 2 after 1. In the second, Kearney gets hot. Claire Kirsch, corner 3, puts the Lopers up 5, but PSU closes the quarter strong. Again, it's Schreiner. This time stepping out for the jumper. 16 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists for Schreiner. Gorillas up 5 at the break. Third quarter, Erin Davis, smooth pull-up jumper. She scores 11. Gorillas get the lead to 10 at one point in the third, but Kearney comes right back. Megan Holt hits the 3. This one, it's a good one. We're tied at 49 going to the fourth. In the fourth, Grace Pyle, big-time 3. She scores 13. Pitt State up just 1, 30 seconds to go. Shiloh McCool gets a tough lay-in. That puts the Lopers back in front. Now, still 15 seconds left here, down 3. Tristan Gegg drives baseline and finishes. Gets the Gorillas within 1. Gegg scores 14, but Kearney holds on today in Pittsburgh 70-67.
Credit to their rebounding. We got out-rebounded by 10, and we can't do that to win a ball game. You know, I mean, we prided ourselves on rebound the whole entire season, and then they do too as well. So they're a tough team. I mean, they're a very, very tough team. So I think we battled with them, and I hope that we earned that respect.
Hopefully we gained even more respect. You know, we were climbing, and hopefully we left the court with more respect than we probably came in with. I mean, this team we were picked 8th, you know, and so to go down to the wire with the first place team and to have parts of the game where we were well in control, I think is a learning curve for us.
After that, the Gorilla men hit the floor against the Lopers. They had a good day and everybody pitched in. Early on, Tane Prichter in the lane. Freshman scores 10 in this one. Jeremy Shaw, huge game for PSU, open 3 for Shaw there. He scores a season-high 23 points for the Gorillas. Marquis English here drives and scores. The Pittsburgh kid, another double-double, 23 points, 12 rebounds for English. Nobody steps up and gets in Quentin Hardrick's face here. Buries the three from the top of the key. 15 points for Hardrick. He also dishes out 7 assists. Pitt State beats Nebraska Kearney tonight 93-85. The Missouri Southern Lions are also at home in MIAA action today. The Lions host the Fort Hays State Tigers in their final home games of the regular season. Now in the women's game, it's an important one for Southern, trying to avoid a third straight loss and jump Hays in the standings. In the first, Lane Skiles to Amaya Johns. Johns hits the jumper. She scores 12 for Southern tonight. And to the second, Lacey Stokes drives, kicks it out to Chrislyn Jones. Jones hits 4 threes in the game and leads the Lions with 18 points. Now here, Lane Skiles, her final game at home for Southern, knocks down the 3 from the right side. Now this game stayed pretty close. We're tied up with about 5 minutes to go. Lacey Stokes drives, just misses, but Maddie Stokes there for the rebound and putback. Lions go back in front. They would hold on. Southern beats Hays tonight 61-58. Now to the men, Missouri Southern tries to sweep the season series from Hays and get their 3rd straight win. And we'll start early in the first. Pass goes into Nango Na. Nice and patient. Finishes with the left in the lane. Game tied early on. Moving on now, it's Vincent Sigmund Jr. getting to the paint. He finishes with the left. Lions take a 1-point lead, 16-15. Now they're going outside. Avery Taggart off the dribble, pull up from the top of the key. He knocks it down. Southern back on top, 21-20. We go to Parker Long now. Pull-up jumper of his own. He gets the long 2 to fall, but Fort Hays State goes on to win this one in the end, 84-70. The Pittsburgh State softball team plays at home for the first time this weekend. The Gorillas play 4 games today and tomorrow, starting today with a matchup against Wayne State. The Gorillas have played a tough schedule to start. They're 3-6 coming into the weekend. At top of the first, Lily Weir gets the strikeout for PSU. Weir goes 6 innings, strikes out 5. Frontenac, listen up, it's your girl here, Heather Arnett. First pitch she sees, the freshman bounces it back up the middle for her first college hit in her home stadium. Next pitch, just like high school, Arnett easily swipes second. And then a couple pitches later, Paxton Hayes delivers the single to right. Arnett scores. Gorillas on the board first. The same inning, Hayes now on third for Gabby Schultz. She gets a hold of one to left, over the fence, into the trees. Pitt State up 3 after the first. On to the second now. Columbus. Listen up now, one of your own. Gracie Sullivan finds the gap in left center all the way to the wall. That scores Keela Griffith. Now, later in the inning, Gabby Schultz back to work. Getting some free airtime for Pitt Realty out there. 2-run double for Schultz. She goes 2 for 2 and drives in 4. Gorillas cruise by Wayne State in their home opener 9-1. Now to local baseball, top 25 matchup today in Joplin. Missouri Southern faces Illinois Springfield in the Missouri Southern Invitational. The Lions had a 4-1 lead through 6th, but the Prairie Stars rally in the final few innings to win a good one, 10-8. And in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh State faces Metro State today, trying to push their winning streak to 4 games. That one is over. Gorillas win a good one, 6-5. Big day for Cade Clemens at the plate. He goes 2 for 4 with a triple, a home run, and 4 RBIs. And one more note, I do want to give a shout out to Devontae Bosby, former Pittsburgh State Gorilla playing in the XFL. First game of the season today, he comes up with a pick 6, so representing Gorilla Nation still.
Hey, there you go. You love to see those alumni succeed out there. It's great. All righty, well, we'll be right back with more news after this. All right, welcome back. Sam, how about that weather?
Warmer each and every single day all the way up until Wednesday with a chance of rain, and then more rain next weekend. But after that, more seasonable-like weather, so not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all, Leonard.
I want to give a shout out to Missouri Southern's Christian Bundy. He made his 125th appearance in a game for Missouri Southern men's basketball program tonight. That is a new program record.
Hey, that's pretty cool. All righty, well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us a part of your night.